Hello, my name is Christine Jurisich, and I'm the founder of the Retreat, Reflect, Renew ministry. There are so many ways to experience your faith, yet there are probably times when you feel stuck. You may feel nothing when you pray. Or you may feel like you're wanting to expand your faith practices in your daily life. So I've created this video series called Prayers and Practices as a way to inspire you to find new ways to open yourself up to God's grace. In this first video, I'm excited to talk about gratitude with artist Shannon Grissom. She has been posting her gratitude with beautiful pictures on social media as a practice for the past 12 years. And now we're featuring her gratitude posts on our social media channels on our Retreat, Reflect, Renew Facebook and Instagram pages. So I hope you enjoy this interview and that it inspires you to seek out your own unique gratitude or any other type of spiritual practice. Hi, Shannon. Welcome.
Hi, Christine. Thanks for having me.
So I want to start with the very basic question. What is your gratitude practice? It is so inspiring to me, especially the consistency that you've been doing it for so long. So let's start with that. Just what is your gratitude practice?
Okay, as far as my daily routine, what happens is I go for walks every morning, and this sets up the process for the next day. So I go for a walk, and I am searching for something to take a picture of to be that will focus on gratitude. So, things as simple as I love the way maybe a leaf just landed on the sidewalk, and it just grace. I just see grace in leaves and tree rings and just being outside. So I search for that. I shoot a picture of it, and then I post it on social media and share it with others. I just feel like this is wonderful. I'd rather be sharing something positive than grumpy stuff. So I find something to be grateful for and I share it. And the cool thing about this whole practice is that I'm actively searching for it. I'm hunting it down and looking for it because sometimes I forget to be grateful.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm so impressed by it, is because for so long, I would only be grateful when things were going my way. But I just have to say, you have such an artist eye. It's so beautiful because I see a picture of a flower and you see so much, you'll see communication in a flower, all these different things. I mean, I think, okay, some days you have such a wide spectrum of things you're grateful for, from communication to vulnerability. And some days I'm thinking, I don't want to be grateful for that. How hard is it to be searching for those images and for something to
well, sometimes I go on the walk and I see things instantly. Other walks are just nothing. And I think where the searching, so there's a double search. There's a search when I'm out for my walk, but every morning I don't just post something from the next day. I just go through my pictures and I say, what's speaking to me today? What's really wanting me to be engaged with today? And so some mornings it's just right there. I know exactly what I'm grateful for. And other mornings when I'm tired and things haven't been going so well, it might take me a half an hour to search.
I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that because I mean, sometimes you see these postings on Facebook or books and all this stuff, and it looks like it's just this person who is gratitude's just easy for them.
No, it's not easy. It's not always easy. And there are times when I think when things are the worst and I don't necessarily instantly look for the good. You get swallowed up into the emotion of whatever's happening, but I do eventually go look. And sometimes I look and look and look for something to be grateful for in this traumatic situation and realize that's not where the gratitude lives. Find it somewhere else. I think the point for me is that I keep searching and find it, and then that shifts my attitude. So it's not that I always, everything's perfect and positive, and even the bad things, there's always something good. And sometimes I don't always find the good in a difficult situation, but I find it somewhere else. So I think where the practice has been good is that I keep searching. So like, okay, it is not working there. I need to go somewhere else.
I love that. Well, that and in my retreats, I talk about that, of a cycle of grace and gratitude, that we're receiving God's grace and just being aware of that, and then responding in gratitude. When you're receiving God's grace, you can't help but respond in gratitude. And that's helped me be able to just see, okay, this is God's grace. It's not the best situation, or it's a devastating situation that I'm in, but there's one moment of someone being so kind to me, or one thing working out. And I know it's been a long road for you to get to this point. So I'd love to hear more about your story, about how this gratitude practice started.
Well, this started, let's see, about 12 years ago. It was probably one of the most difficult times of my life. My husband had been in a really bad accident that left him disabled, and I was a full-time caregiver. And so I had great difficulty conducting, I'm an artist, and it was hard for me to continue to do my work and take care of him. At the time, I was also filming a pilot for a TV show. Everything just came crashing down. And I mean, really came crashing down. So we lost the house, we went bankrupt. And so this sets the stage for when I started the practice. And things weren't very nice. They were really heartbreaking. And my niece, Belinda, challenged us, everybody on Facebook, all the family members, to think of what they were grateful for the entire month of November, and just keep posting it. Well, the timing was perfect because I was not feeling grateful, and I was really, really on the pity pot. Just this is not how I thought my life was going to be at 50. I didn't think I'd be starting over. So I thought, you know what? This is perfect timing. I need to do this. So I started by just posting something every day. And sometimes I didn't take pictures at that point. It wasn't really a practice. It was just, okay, I'm going to commit to doing this to shift my attitude. So I was really grateful for my husband's attitude. He had the best attitude. He was just so grateful to be alive. He was a great patient. The way the light hit the curtains, the way, my cat just snuggling up to me, that kind of thing. So those kinds of things would just turn me around and fill me with gratitude and love. And so I kept doing that. And I found that at the end of the month, I didn't want to stop, because what happened is, no matter how the rest of the day went, I spent some time every day feeling grateful, looking for gratitude and feeling grateful. And that really made the difference in anything else that came after that. Was easier to handle, because I'm not saying it was perfect or it was easy,
Right.
but it was, I came from a better place. And so now it is part of my everyday life. And I'm not on Facebook every day, but for a while I was doing 7 days a week. Now I'm down to 5 days a week, but I still focus on gratitude on the days that I'm not posting. I'm working on balance here.
Yeah, that's part of it. That comes with it. There's so much that comes once you start making that a practice.
Yeah.
That is so that's so real. Thank you for sharing that,
You're welcome.
because it means so much more when it comes from a place of realness, of authenticity, of what's really going on in your life. And so I'm just wondering, is there a moment that sticks out when you were just in a really dark place and it was really hard to find something you're grateful for? Because I know I have been there, and there are just times where I think, I don't want to be grateful for anything. So I'm just wondering, I just want to be real here. Of course, everyone has,
Yes.
speaking for myself, I've had those moments. I have those moments. So is there a moment that stands out for you?
Well, I think early on during that practice, I had actually had somebody. So I'm still trying to keep the business afloat, still trying to keep things together. and I had to get somebody I wanted to do an art show, sell my work, keep things going. And I needed to get somebody to take care of my husband while I was doing this. And so I did. And I spent money getting into the show, and hardly anybody came. And I know that my negative energy didn't really help either, as far as I had dismal cells. So, and I'm thinking that, I probably had this dark cloud over me. Anyway, I lost money on the show. So here I'm doing everything I can to try to make things work, and it's not happening. And so then I normally I'm pretty tidy, but when I got all the stuff home, I didn't even put it away till the next morning. And I tried to shift my attitude. I really tried to look for the good. So I tried writing, I tried painting, I tried working on a song, but everything was just really, really negative. And I didn't want to share that kind of thing in the world. And then I realized that, okay, so I wasn't getting the result I wanted, but what I finally realized was that I was grateful for my creativity. I mean, it took me to go through all this because I wasn't grateful for a darn thing.
I love that.
Like, grateful that I had this tool to, sometimes I do what I call throw up paintings. I just let it out, throw them out, and the stuff just needs to come out. So I finally realized that that's what I was grateful for. So it kind of goes back to what I was saying, is about, I don't always find it where I think I will. But if I look and I listen, it's there.
Wow. And that really speaks to, people talk about an attitude of gratitude, but that isn't the reality. That's not what the research has shown. People like Dr. Brene Brown, researcher and storyteller, she will talk about how for that inner transformation, it is about an intentional practice.
Yes.
And it is about the practice. It's not just by going around trying to be grateful for things. So I love that you just show that. And there's so many people hurting right now, especially with the pandemic. I'm just wondering, your specific gratitude practice isn't going to speak to everyone. It's about finding the one that works for you. So what would you say for people who may be in a really down place, a place of loss or pain? How do you even start? If they're thinking, maybe exactly what you're doing isn't what they want to do, how do you even start to try to find something?
Yeah, I think my structured approach definitely isn't going to work for everybody. I would say for anybody though, the thing is so when you're feeling the worst, and have something where you spend most of your time that makes you feel good, that will remind you to start looking in another direction. Because if that's the problem, I forget. And, especially when things are coming at you from all angles, it's hard to remember to look at. So find some little physical object that makes you happy, that will trigger, oh yeah, I can look over here for something really cool, or something that makes me feel good, something that fills me with love. And so that would be a great way to just help to shift you instantly. You may not find it there, but it reminds you that there may be another view to look at.
I love that.
Thank you.
There are always invitations to gratitude. It's just a matter of making a choice to find them and to look for them. And that's what you show so much of. Thank you so much, Shannon. I appreciate hearing your story. Any last words you would want to tell people?
Nope. I think the last statement about finding the little object would be the best thing. There's always a way to shift. And so just think about the shift, and you'll get there.
Right. Because it is a choice.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Shannon, for sharing your story, sharing your heart. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Christine.
Thank you.